Yama mo nyina adwuma makwaba eba UTV so ye no si akase bo ifi ship house abeka junction ana nabenan ye de somo aseda kwama special so no special drink na bia kwama this way chocolate drink and then the coffee drink need fufu need this abekwan so aseda PS ne bi ekode ama om na ye ka mo se social media handles how do ni nyina ye kase boye etwagu ko Facebook a ene DSTV so a ye wo channel 360 and some of the bram de di mo akuti ni bi and it's ECOWAS dwamutinani aba omanga na mu ebesra yemampani
no mo penya be di ekire ahwe amamfidi ye tintin de be sori nwura so ewo wa amantem ni mu no omadana di
Ghana mampani dada His Excellency John Dramani Mahama so ene wo mu aye nnwuma ewo babietu fanwo ewo oman yi mu no ahia
na piakefo e de atodwa se wo amfiempim yenu ni dumie safango ayetu ne so ate emprenan
na nse na donkuma yen sachofo hie mu kire se aban yi e de party fo wurawura bambo nyumaku nu mu dom kase nso ayi ano
tanker drivers e chie mu so mu ate atio musika sembi aban empemua
ense mi kan ya de bram se kase gba kenkanfo ayeso ma na nwumre yeme eja kwabena mene
akua ejiwa kwadi
afi kase bo ne mu samnie ECOWAS dwam tenani ono ne Dr. Umar Aliu Ture abomemu ensrahwe ni nyina ne so ne ye mampani His Excellency na nado dan kwaku for da hia atoato adwene ade afa ECOWAS aman no dwumadie wo mpuntuo na fe o masomdwe hu
Ehu behia se enimanimu ya mpanyifo a omo edon ECOWAS kuo no ebetimi de ne mapegu akwemu ahwekwan a ombetimi emia bambonsem se de beya amaya hodo a omodon ECOWAS kuo no omobambo no betimi agina yi a wonmo omudi huruye ene basabasaye eba no ye betimi esioma no kwan ebiem ECOWAS mpanyifo nso ehwekwan a ombetimi ama oman Mali Burkina Faso ene Niger a sesei omafri ECOWAS kuo nimu no ombetimi assign de omho aba bedom biem a ombetimi aka omo ho abom ahye amabambo mapa ejina ne naso yi ewe bibrem atoye femu ha wei enam so ama ECOWAS empanyufo bia President Emma ECOWAS Commission Dr. Umar Aliu Ture edo manono akwa kopie mampanyi na nadodan kwakufu adonase ene no edinkita ho ahodo a ebetimi aboa masada yesun abemu
and the recommendation include having a regional standby force that would consist of 5,000 men and would entail a budget of $2.4 billion. That was one proposal. The other proposal is to have a brigade of 1,500 men and women, which would cost about $1 billion. Now, your instruction also asks us to see how best we can fund our own peace support operations. In between, a lot has happened, which includes a UN resolution, for which we would like to really express our gratitude to Ghana for, because Ghana has really led the fight for UN financing of Africa's peace support operations, and thank God we've got the resolution that we've all wanted, which would now allow the UN to finance up to 75% of our peace support operations.
The whole scenario that is emerging requires that there be a consensus amongst us as how to we treat the alliance of Sahelian states, so-called. For me, that's the nodal point. As you said quite rightly, the epicenter of terrorism in our region is there. Yes. If we're going to make plans as to how to combat it, there has to be some clear, and I think it is very, very important that the heads of state meet to clarify exactly what are the parameters in which we should go and try to define the policy. And it's fortunate for us and for me that the representative of the ECOWAS point man on terrorism, counterterrorism, is a Ghanaian. It makes working for me that much easier. Mm-hmm. But nevertheless, this cannot be a Ghanaian initiative. It has to be an ECOWAS-wide initiative. And I think that for us to have real clarity going forward, we need there to be an agreement amongst the heads of state as to our strategy for going forward. It is on that basis that we can then flesh out the other matters that you have talked about.
Now, advanced integrated waste recycling plant in 24 ashe etintim ewo wa a eno ewo etifi atoye mantemu eyemfidia yede beso sonura so adada ne ani ebeboa mabora no yetimi akrakra no yi na omampanya bedi eche ru abawomia akobia no chem se debia no ton sungura ne beye 400 eno mbehwe adada ne ani na ebeso mantem ene mens ne beye du baako.
These projects are in partnership between the government of Ghana and the Jospon group of companies. And this is a demonstration of how the cooperation and the partnership between government and the private sector can bring benefits to the good people of Ghana. So far, 6 of these integrated recycling and composting plant facilities have been completed and commissioned in Accra, Goso in the Halfa region, Sefiroso, Dambai, Ho, Dama and Damango in the Savannah region. This makes WA the 7th so far to be commissioned in the country. The integrated recycling and composting plant facility will serve the purpose of receiving and sorting municipal solid waste from WA and its neighboring towns and communities in the Upper West region. The waste will be processed using a state-of-the-art processing machine to convert the organic component into compost. Other recyclables such as plastics, metal scraps and so on will be extracted from the waste and reused as raw materials in the plastic and steel industries. All the activities and procedures of the medical waste treatment facility is geared towards helping Ghana attain the Sustainable Development Goals.
It is the 4th of its kind to be commissioned in the country after Kumasi, Ho and Takrady. The purpose of this facility is to manage hazardous medical waste from our healthcare facilities. This facility here has a capacity of treating 5,000 kilograms of infectious medical waste from the region of Upper West. So this implies that we have various trucks, specialized trucks that move from one healthcare facility to the other to pick up the segregated infectious waste and transport it to the treatment center here. Over here we have microwave treatment systems that sterilizes the harmful organisms in the waste, making it harmless for final disposal.
Enti sa afidie we a aba wakuro mu hayi ebetumi a process 400 metric tons of waste. The actually say kronketwa and districts a ewo wa montensu nyina omo de omo ngura beba ha na omo process no ewo sa facility we mu.
Ghana Mampeni Dada, His Excellency John Dramani Mahama, Probo Warbo, say, Bude the Ghana we want, say, Bia, ye in a becabo match of mine Ghana, ye in a penno. Or the Coco Pimu, I'm one name, one more a year fang who a juma, one a wood two, one way if you didn't who a juma, I will maybe be too fang or no. Or no meshia, I'm an Adrian po, and it here mono, or more a dihuabo.
Adekasia baako a NDC amanyɔkuo no ɛne wɔ Franka Tuni ɛyɛ ɛwɔ abaayɛ baabɛto wɔ afimpinu ne aduonu nan ne sɛ wɔnom ehyiahyia akuaku ahodoɔ no sɛdeɛ ɛbɛyɛ a wɔde adwempɔ bɛto wɔn anim wɔatie wɔn nso asɛm na ɛbɛma wɔnom akwanya ama wɔtimi ne wɔn no adi nkɔmmɔ ama wɔatimi ate wase yie wɔn nyinaa ɛyɛ akwanya a nhyehyɛeɛ ahodoɔ a wɔde ɛbɛto adwa no ɛbɛtimi aboa wɔn mo ɛsan nsɛm wɔ nti ɛnka ne mampanyin John Dramani Mahama Eshia Ghana Downstream Petroleum Chamber. Na kyese won mo a wo mo di dwa e wo fanwo efam no wono wo mo nso ahia wono wo mo akasa waka na dwempo waka de a eno betimi aboa ama enhyehyɛ yahodo di gu akwama ma Ghana fo no e betimi akoso na ocheche nsem se.
We know how critical your industry is. Indeed, it is important in keeping the economy going, and that if we do not improve efficiency in your sector, it ultimately affects the consumer in terms of quality of products, but also in terms of cost. And so if you operate more efficiently, it is possible for us to reduce the burden that the consumer has to carry. And so we're willing to listen to you. I know where we've come from. We're willing to engage with you. This is not going to be just one-off in terms of our interaction. If God favors us and we come into office, I would want that this interaction continues so that we are able, together with you as stakeholders, to create the most efficient downstream petroleum industry that the country deserves. And so we'll continue to interact with you in terms of all the challenges, and we'll solve those challenges together. All the laws that have to be reviewed and all that, we will do it together. And I know that there are some outstanding issues to do with regulation.
And what Chiankane Mampenyi esan kasa say, ene se wo hwe LPG gas ya, eto edaso esododo enti osi yente so. Yeto so a wonim pa se ebeboa ewa akwanuasa nyina so.
We've talked about LPG consumption, and there's a great concern today. Unfortunately, like he said, the consumption of fuel wood is going up and consumption of LPG is going down because of cost. And I also believe in my heart that really we should be reducing the taxes on LPG rather than increasing the taxes on LPG. To encourage our people to consume more of the LPG than to use the other alternatives, which are charcoal and others. We need to produce more gas, not only for LPG, but also for electricity production, for natural gas to fire our thermal plants.
NDC amayokoni franka ekrene Yewura John Dramani Mahama ebra wane mu edifa ho dwa no ehia mu no de tudwa chemsi Nyankopon ye nadom na woba ebeyo mampanyi no behwe e de akade ne sika ahyeto adwumakuo nim amano asan aye adwuma bie.
We think that we must initiate a technical and commercial audit of Tema Oil Refinery. When we came into office, we put the refinery back to work. It hadn't been working for a long time. And it started operating again. Our confidence was high. We dispatched the first parcel of our own locally produced oil to the Tema Oil Refinery. Unfortunately, it was at the tail end when we were leaving office. My understanding is that the parcel sat there for several years because the refinery had broken down again, and eventually it was disposed of at a discount. And so we need to look again at how we can bring the refinery back in place. But I do think that the problems we have with running that refinery is because it's a state-owned enterprise. And we all know the inefficiencies that go with state-owned enterprises. And so we are open to private partnership in terms of bringing that refinery back into operation and running it. But we think that whatever private partnership or private participation is invited, it must come through a transparent process that allows the best partners to be procured.
Ebi ade shemamba UTV no sia kasebo na mohwe moma yenkwaje abofo nkratu di kan ye ba de aka no ye de beto aso.
Yama ye ho akwaba fe yeto akase ebo so.
Si ahwefo bekai a enche bia ana donkom na hyebedwam eye nsachofo hyiemu na nsemo mo kan ne se aban yi eye MPP aban yi wahye se wo mo a esi omanan so be pre mrahedwadibre parliamentary candidate no yesi nipa bia obi anfa nipa duasa mra ne anfa hye bambo nwumeku no mu na no mo kyese bibia ensem fata kra na sase be babonte no ana dom kase nso eye nsachofo mri afa wa kyese ensemo donkum aka no anya no kure
Eye nwanwa bebre efise sa allegation we ade bi aye ni ankasa ne yadwene ho aye hunu ba bia omo ekofa sa asemi bae na eye ade bi a no krebia enim na ye hunu se eye boapaye se omo kasa asam no ato aban no so se de be ya aban no enim anase na nimtie ebeba fom nti eye ade bi a ye nyina ye wa he ye pese ye kama mote ase se enya ade ebetumi asi efise ye nim se aban no se babia ogina no enya ade a IMF kurampo be ma no kwan ama watimi ai employ nipa more than 1,000 or 1,200. But a no program recruitment in the intimate muscle, if we say IMF for my conditionality, say my yet any employment recruitment. It's a idea a bit to me abaso. Into the year can say, and this is for a contompo ato abine so. Was say obibia who say. No enim.
We were amazed. Probably that has been their modus operandi of the minority. And so they are thinking that we are doing same. It is not the case. We want, through this media, want to challenge the Honorable Atuforsen. If he has better particulars, he better do so, or forever keep his silence on this matter. This election will be prosecuted on facts and figures. We know, psychologically we know, that they know they are down. Knowing that they are down, they'll be throwing tantrums and be just muddying the waters and putting all sorts of wild allegations out there. Thankfully, we have the ranking member on Defense and Interior, the Honorable Agaga, is on that committee. So, granted that Atuforsen has not been briefed properly, is it the case that the ranking member is also not aware? It is most unfortunate. The allegations they are putting out here is just to turn the Ghanaian, put us on a wild goose chase and unnecessarily creates tension. It is most unfortunate. And we will continuously challenge him. He was once the Deputy Minister of Finance. If you do a simple computation of 30 by, assuming it is just our side, 30 by 138, what number does it come to? Clearly, it tells you on the face value that that is clear propaganda.
Aya winiba budumbura ekoka so akwantin pone so said ya traffic isiwo mu nya asam ketwa efise ye tretre kwan ne mu eno na akomra hyebedwam a abedwako mu hwe akwan ne akwantin po so ne wakasa de ma edom kuma no onmunyamfo Isaac Ejeme Sade ato asoye hwe akwan ne akwantin po so afmu se omonhwe na kayenye nsiesie no ntem ne pe ba bia nipa befa na traffic na no edi odin se wetu dwabro mo friends enjofo nhyiemu.
The main issue is that this project is about 30 kilometers from Winneba Junction to Kaswa, and it's for two contractors. You know, one 0.12 and another one also 15 kilometers. So what we are saying is that in such a critical situation, around the time that we are going into the rainy season, we need to manage some of these issues very critically. It is also important to note that that stretch falls within the Abidjan-Lagos corridor, the Trans-West Africa Coastal network. So that if it is not managed well, the situation is that a whole lot of integrity challenges, judicial integrity challenges and problems for Ghana. So what we are calling for is that under such circumstances, you need to know, one, what is the contractual arrangement? Is it a foreign funded or locally GOG project? But our information is that it's a GOG project. If it's a GOG project, what are the details going forward. It is also important that because of the fact that it's not properly done and it's haphazardly done, we don't have any detour, any diversion to allow people that comfort. People will have to spend between the evenings about 4 to 5 hours to come to Accra because of the way the whole project is being carried.
Kaswa and Winneba, you can spend as long as 5 hours, and it is becoming a nuisance to passengers to the extent that sometimes you have to burn fuel unnecessary sitting on the traffic. Our concern is not the project. Our concern has to do with the adequacy of measures that should be put in place for pedestrians and passengers to be able to access the road. And that is why the ranking member is saying that we are worried, because on a normal day, you don't expect someone to complete a 33-kilometer road within a period of 5 hours. It is becoming more of a nuisance than what it is. So we are calling on the minister responsible for roads and highways to adequately provide diversions so that ordinary Ghanaian will be able to access the corridor easily, because it's costing all of us enough time and a lot more money, and it should be done immediately. Aside that, we are also raising concern as to how this contract was awarded, the amount of money involved, and the fact that this contract was awarded without parliamentary approval and in flagrant violation of Section 33 of the Public Financial Management Act. We are hearing that one section of the road is in excess of $120 million. Yeah. And we want to know where this money, how they are funding this. Is it that they are borrowing from treasury bills to fund it, or how are they funding this project? These are issues of major concern to us.
Atwaman samso afo ye owura nunyafo kwabena ochirda comment da tudye chiru se nansen sa premix fan wi ya jakoto mu a nipa mienu fa mu hwo mo nkoma bi no prepare no kwasem nie se de ne mesi say na japade ahwere anasa say na nipa sa hwo mo nkwa no ahotiye pa
asem kese no watu ye nyara na ilehia nti sende ohum wa ha no wagidi pa de president so na so ati ma wa kodo injesia nti president timan kanchira wonda omuwenya yakọ omo shedin de asam kaside ya watu injesia no enya asam kakaba aside yenya yetutunase em da asam ni sisu yenya na wa kwantu nti yebedui no bisimpo no frem de am mebeduro nti ma behwe de ma so me frefre nkranfo de asam wa atu yenyu nti ebe ende nti nde na nyankopon obo kwanto a yetum na yebehia injesia man already waka achem dem pinfu bi so apadedo ma mepede wonya wata asene de eye ona wata ona komado no ayen so de me ye oni ye fili bi papa nim de ija shishu de yi na aka so abefie because nimpa 16 nyame nchade se nyame anche na do sisi erika sei ebusua ebasa de ona koma wa hwehwe kra awon so the hospital pay ya na ebode nyankopon odbe me back na won so abeka ye ho minya o yeka na me pede me hye won boso de aban nana sike biala be spend bi aban ebe hye omu na wa so etum da hwe ebusua fo no
da ye be me ka se me de aban owodo no obey den MC ya ka se me de obohwe na eka obi o ho no aiden wetua Mnyeri jam is so akasa ne sure that no so koma aiden odwon bobo yenja ebusua edamara osande nipa no aiden onyine yaze na mom so ekwana ofado maazi ne sin gize ebe ka wasam nadmo the various agencies are all aban obia na zo mo abaiden obey because them I member but onye danche obandama ansa na yabaiden yabohwe na yesiesie na so abandama ebia asem bi na oiden ugbe abubi me timigiz do ade san be echi na ekohwo nti na ebe ya aka na mo no wo de ya principle
bia kokoto premise ni bia na odo hu de na drum odo koto no mistake bia le nyi hu because se premise this is help na se wo tu kakra na so otsen kakra bi mu nya japie ehina abasho nti mesre dem we si oye ya ode ya nhwode na enfonsu a
Osofo ono na hwe apomuden sem so ye Dr. Bernard Okoboy wase se ebeboama enipa ekọ ayaresabia bope so ano behenyanyan na afensumu adaho amaye ntimpenifo the booking system eba ebeboa amaye unipa dodo a eba ne kwan befa so a ye beso ho ano yi
Osofo a wono ene hwe apomuden so eyo onimonyamfo Bernard Okoboy na opanyin ensem nyina ne se sa booking system no eno ne se ebia okwa akopɛ apomuden ho ensem a ɛwɔ se udi kan efrɛ ayaresabia ho se de bɛyɛ nipa dodo no a enko na wo mo nkɔhyehyɛ so ɛwɔ ho ɛma obi yare na ɔkɔ ayaresabia ɛbɛcha ansa na nipa no atimi afiri ho eno nti se wo mo yɛ sa booking system yi a eno betimi aboa wɔ sa kwan no so pa.
But why should we be a country where we walk into a hospital, want to see the doctor, and we have no idea when we are going to see the doctor? Luckily, because of digitization technology, these are things that we can do easily. And we are starting a pilot with the University of Ghana Medical Center, where every Ghanaian who wants to visit a doctor will be able to get either a cheat or a code that shows that don't come here before 6 o'clock. Show up at 12. You will see the doctor between 12 and 2 o'clock. Those who will see the doctor based on how early they get to their appointment know that they have to be around before 9 o'clock. In this way, we would have sanitized our hospitals, reduced congestion, reduced the frustration, and show to the world that it is possible to modernize even within our setting.
Dr. Bernard Okoboy esan eka nhyehyɛ ahodo a wode agu hɔ sabre no na wɔma lekma ena afe University of Ghana Medical Center wonum ba asemienu a eno betimi aboa.
Dr. Okoboy may be supporting Lekma Hospital with a Benz bus. Now hospitals ewo Ghana omo needs omo challenges. Na me hear me speech no me kan be say okọ abrochire a the Emma hospitals etimi ye adwuma kama ni say individuals any corporate bodies e support wo enye aban pena ebua hospitals enti Okoboy omo mamiti ase say omo nurses no community wa koye adwuma they don't have a good bus idea oboko enti me raise some resources and anopay ya be support omo with a 20-seater bus fully air conditioned na we GD say you support hospitals in sa wo bi no find a way to support your hospital so that will be here no omo betimi a support you.
We modern ambulance in Canessa. Your ambulance there by dada. Inti ambulance and so they said the nimuno quite say to said the bear any equipment inside no. Into ambulance be boy our patients are almost hospital high BSS the almost call baby call baby and I think so no say if you want to me free fifie say ebia say ni say a sign ye call for mobile hospital no so be boy
bas ye be boy pa ye wo community health nurses are omukọ chip zones ekoye adwuma bas be boy na yetimi de omako aba and other places be was ye course so in order to say ye be boy ma adwuma na ye di wahara ko nenim no nti e ade a eye kese ma ye nti e da omunyina ase.
Yeda so ewo ensem fufuru mu na se ka se bona na mguso amohwe na ye konsem fufuru mu a gutakuo no ayo men adwodifuku ba time pa na pani a wono anote the new force na nakwame bedi akono mu akwahia ama woti ohawa gutafo wom ene de ono so betwa de abo wo braga na fato abama no amna ba ma pani no wono akodi hu nkomo
Nana Kwame Bedi Akon the new force opinion odi animu na otwa o man mu na ahia na ono manfo adi nkomo age o madwen kire said the Baya Ubitini Aya Ghana ye, say Omanfo Ejini Tumwa. Into Wakoshia Ghana Union of Traders Association, Kuta. No so nyomo e kwako che na dwempo. Abrana na kwa mebidi ako ene wo mu edi nkomo no. Ode nsema hodo bebre e na eto wo no manim kire se. Eto a eku adwadifo mo Ghana mem has oyeye no eso.
Nkofo no mokofa no mani free omo ho no. Se omo ka se omo kwakoto machine na omo de yesa no mani bidi aba Ghana to industrialize our raw materials na omo de aye sa same product na omo tu kwan kofa na memo omo tax free. Na wo hwa echichire kwa eyesikanya no mu anu no because the amount tax free na se many per thousand na so mu nyina sha se mu produce wo Ghana ha sa sika no nyina na omo de tu kwan koma nkrofo wa bonten no ebe sha ase aka krom ha nti ebema ye economy na booming ebema nkrofo nso adwuma akoso na ebema nkrofo nso sikanye mu ayeye local currency no dey so obetimi upeso stable na it's about having your economy to boom. Na so economy be boom a e kire se nkofo bebre beto no ma free wo ho e na business bebre nso koso wo krom enti ye no de kire se sika no tai o mining in free mu empie na se ye kase ye fasika no ne de ko China ne de akofa no ma ne ba ya betu taxes ne asan ton ama nipa ne asan fa ne nyina akwa eno no economy na ne ye twepie no nti ye de komo obi foforo wa bonten me pese me stop sade no me pese me reduce importation no from abia 90 something percent near the above 50% na fe the enya power of exportation kakra what you say enti enu ntia na me pese ye flexible in some taxation areas I be bo nipa omo ye trading kra no omo hu say trading no enye se China pe ana America pe na kwa obetima ye trading na obetima ye trading wo Ghana ha a wo be trading with Nigerians a wo be trading with Ivorians be trading with a lot of people omo be ba beto ha ne me pese ye ne say yenso ese say nya international relationship with abontenso for enye ti say ebia foreign influence obe hu an say bia o ma be hye ebia ye kurase bi or say or plywood factory na the whole Ghana ono pe na so supply plywood and I say eno na mempe what I say me free say as say Ghana ni su timi nya sa opportunity ni bi no ono su timi supply plywood na sika no e ba wan fa say me free cremantenu ntia na me penisa but meantime obi a me free say say ni obi aye adwuma
say do ono de okasa into the future na the year then say aspirants ni na ba ye ni na obi ade atum say cost of doing business no esondo especially duty payment na ye wo kromia no and nti na dodo na no e ka so mo de flat tax system ebebe bi so say mo de face tax system ba opani so ade atum say yeto na yetua no eso pa nti kwan bia na onyakonya obem na aba form nso obem na aba form nti the fact say obi ade atum say eto na yetua no wosoro na ombedi ho dwuma no eno na ehia me pa nti ono so aka to so no de na say ne ka no ye sika fapema ye didi dwa ne ho gika ehwan esu ehwan sambra me ka say de ekobe 30% embra ye twa mu 15 CDC a obi a eyesu a obi asu so we do obi ka buei obi so do ka buei obi do ka ya accept because obi to am no this kind of value na say also do obi ka so ko hwe sika bebre so ansa no etime atua otonwa enton etese eniema bo na ye den no consumer no so no hefa na okofa sika no aba beto entina untime enkotua wo ka bia wo bank enti situation a ye fa ye ho no emu odin ye jina we se so ahome abase
adehibamba yɛda mo sɛ mo san twɛn yɛ afei yɛkasɛ bɔ ne yɛto aso
Oko Mashe Bejemua, Meche Peniformo, and a shanty to ya Awoodroso, Meche Public Interest and Accountability Committee, Piaka for Eddie Atuja Achimso 2023 report for Fangono. Abeto just a fangwa ye two of my Ghana Masino, a so at sea, and pre and I ewo in Fim Pim Unia Dunumi and Samoa, a ya debia enquiry into a more astra buying any Penifor, some of Fanima Pungwa Quinso, not a near Moon Pager.
Abraham Penifo a wonum eda Public Interest and Accountability Committee no wonum ekoshiaye no womu chechiri mu say PIAC 2023 report no crude oil production a wonum ye ne so tiye a etoso enan ewa fimpino ne adwenu miensa se wo hwe womu production subsidy city ba ye no a was 2019 no na 71.44 million barrels ena no otumi ye na enso so abre bedru afimpino ne adwenu miensa 2023 no na atia from bese 48.25 million barrels and we mu nyina no eba begina wo hamu chichimu enkono achiripo mienu a na eso ate ne no ena oka ede akire aban no ene regulatory bodies na a wo mu ye nhihye ne se wo mu emfa kwampa no so se de ebe ye no betimi aboa ama wo mu dwuma a wo mu di no etimi akoyie.
The production of oil is consistently declining. And if it's declining, it means that the revenue that we should get from the petroleum resources, we are not getting it to plow it into our development. So that is the first one. We also realize that since 2018, no petroleum agreement has been signed. We also realize that the cap, the ceiling on the PHF has been stable by $100 million, but this should increase because the proper formula is not being utilized.
Efi afe 2019 eba no fam wododo a yetu ewo Ghana ha no ekofom afe 2019 mu no ne yetu ye no na ankre 71 million afe eswat nkakra ba afe 2023 abedu 48 million barrels ekire se esote na ndedo a obetu no e na obokoton wo wiase adwaman so a obenya sika de aba oman anim abeba oman no ho bra enti ne edikan a ye kan ne se Ghana ban ene Ghana aban no enwuma a wo hwefa nwodwumadie no so no won hwe na fam no a ekofom no yentimi nsan pagam ne etutu no wo baabi a etu no na em se eye miensa Jubilee Field Sankofa Ginyame Field Tweneboa Enyira Ntome Field eho no se aban hwe na efom a ekɔ no afi yensan yechi na enhyase se ekɔsro na afi a ye ka ho asem afi 2023 no fam usika aban edidi dwuma ewo budget no na eye 5.1 billion cedis 5.1 billion cedis eno na aban echiche mu a ebi ekɔ education eye enwuma suamu ye de bi free senior high school no ho niema ena afi ye de bi nso eyi ekwan memfa ne se nkran ha flower pot kwan a yeyi flyover no eno ka ho ena ekwan bebre ni nyina wo report no a ye de abetu dwanum nti ye be sere o manfo se won ko PIAC website ho www.piacghana.org no projects a ye de fam usika na ye ni nyina wo ho bia be hu bi ne ye won community mu no obia be hu se ne a etie.
University of Ghana Business School ada ntitie bi enhyehyɛ di ayato ne din sɛ accounting software curriculum na mpanyifo a ɛda suabea na no ɛkyerɛ sɛ ɔmo de ahyehyɛ na basa na bɛyɛ suafo a bɛba hɔ no yɛbɛkyerɛ ɔkɔm fa so de abɛɛfo kwan ebu nkontaa na ma omdwumadi omudie no atumi akɔntem abantem.
University of Ghana Business School wɔn nhyehyɛeɛ ahodoɔ a wɔde agu hɔ ne sɛ wɔbɛtete undergraduate na ne nyinaa mu no nam so ama wɔn mu a wɔnim de a wɔnim nkontabuo no wɔnim sikasɛm ho adwadie no wɔn hyɛ da ma wɔn teteɛ ɛno nti wɔn ɛdan accounting software curriculum a ebetumi aboa wɔn ɛwɔ wɔn teteɛ mu saa software foforɔ yi ɛno bɛboa asuafoɔ no ama wɔn matumi ahunu deɛ yɛfrɛ no artificial artificial intelligence a ebetimi ama omabu enkonta anase sa software ne betimi ama omabu nkonta ama wanya ho nimdia a enwumaku ahodo nso ebenya mfaso ede free eso titiriw ene wonu edisi kasem ho edwa abra wokasa wodwumedie ase registrar a wono na University of Ghana Mame Emilia na kwantwa Mensa ono ejina vice chancellor anemu edi to just say here say university no betimi aye bibi eti say ye ama esuafo no.
The curriculum that is being inaugurated today certainly enhance the training in accounting, and I'm sure that our students, who I'm very sure are already very proficient in all matters to do with IT, will embrace the curriculum as it promises to make the study of accounting even more exciting and even more hands-on. We look forward to other disciplines within the university also introducing digital curricula to enhance teaching and learning across the university.
Eno echino CEO our that special investment group ano ono executive ewo resident department of accounting ewo University of Ghana Business School Dr. Ernest Ofori Sapon ono so ebo university nabaso se wo maye hihye sei na obeka kire suafo ne se wo musomwe ya akwanya kese ebetimi aboa ama wo asua accounting software curriculum yi eno betimi aboa ama wo mo so womo abresu yi sa artificial intelligence no brano no wo behunu watimi aboho bra ama na boa oman no.
If you fail to embrace this opportunity, you would have failed by default. I mean, automatically, if you go into the job market, you'll be at a big disadvantage. So I ask that you embrace this opportunity, and to help you to integrate into this job market, all you have to do is to ensure that you are ICT literate. I'll take this opportunity also to appeal to the accounting firms to come and support this good cause that has been introduced by the business school. All the accounting firms, all the corporate institutions in the country, I urge them to come in and support this good cause for our future accountants.
I was here day abefo kwanya ye betimi dia tete won so that ebedu so ombebia ombeba bonten ho no na sane companies eye won adwuma no na omahu ene no company bia oye company oye krabe hwe bia de what the accounting software baako anamienu bi ene ye adwuma nti ama ye hu se yen tetia na ma mofra no etos chima kakra tina or say ye chan ko ye chi na sani obruni kan ye re-strategize.
Technology no as a skill set I just say students no Kenya because moba out there now students no omu fee school no moba baby aye ejuma na nkasa na o realize say bibia ye bia it is supported by technology. So technology there eye key even cry ye ma me for ya omu wo ejomu yi ni ekrasi say ya omu nyina use technology into who students no oba I just say ultimately add value to wherever you are working because without adding value no I mean, you will go out of the system.
Area adishimama ebejina we so near the kasebo no esia da sedama special sitio and special drink bi ba kwama this way chocolate drink and then coffee drink na fe ne krakra no akwama neat fufuo ana fe neat abekwan ejewa
the let's locks for IMT dia mami asede ko ede amawo omo number no eye 0244423201 medin dia kwia ejewa ko die mene eja kwabena da munyina se amamumo ene hwe